Welcome to meeting number 15 we're on of our EUDR working group. So just a quick reminder to start us off with is we're meeting here as part of this TDUK membership and kind of hosted by TDUK as part of the responsible sourcing subcommittee with the aim to kind of collaborate and assess as challenges with compliance with the EU deforestation regulation. We do have some non-members in the meeting, but it is open to our wider network because this challenge affects quite a lot of people. Quick reminder of the Competitions Act, though. Any discussion on confidential market information, we'll have to kind of potentially pause the meeting. So if you think we're crossing any boundaries with that, just give me a heads up and we'll sort it that way. Kind of a looser agenda to usual, isn't it, Joe? We kind of with this one we have Jordan from DEFRA joining us to explain policy development with engagement in the EUDR. So the first part of the meeting will be discussing that, and then it's more of an open discussion format to talk through any challenges still facing, any new information we've got, any updates, and we can discuss that as a wider initiative. So I don't know if there's anything I've missed off there, Zhao, but whether we want to just get to introduce Jordan and Jordan take the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, just one more question, Joe and Jordan. Jordan, would you be happy for us to record your presentation? Is it okay?
Yeah, that should be fine. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So we will be releasing the recording on YouTube, but only Jordan's presentation part. The Q&A bit, we will still record it to help me to produce a summary later, but we will not share that Q&A recording onto YouTube. So feel free to share whatever concerns you have. Thank you. Over to you, Jordan. Thanks again for joining us.
No worries. Thank you. Let me just try and get this up. Sorry, I'm having a bit of. Can you see my
That's okay.
slides?
We can see not the presentation mode, the other one.
Okay.
Sharing your notes slides.
The notes. Oh dear.
Yeah, when you do.
It's okay. Take your time.
This is why I hate sharing, but then we don't use Zoom in DEFRA. We use Teams,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
adds to the confusion. But don't
Do you
worry,
do you have two monitors, Jordan?
I do, but it's not working out. Okay. Can you see the slides? I can just do it with my notes.
Yes, we can see the slide. Yes.
Spot on. Thank you. So hi everybody. So I'm Jordan Allan. I work in DEFRA's International Deforestation Regulations team. So just been invited today to talk through some of the recent simplifications to the EUDR, mainly from a perspective of trying to hear what industry thinks of the simplifications and how it's going to impact your business, and just general views, just because obviously we're part of looking at the GB policy approach. So it's just interesting to hear people's views on how it's going to impact you, and then obviously looking at the future policy development. So happy to run through just an update, just a quick run through of the simplifications. So before I do that, it's just to clarify, this is not official UK guidance. So this is just our team in DEFRA's interpretation of the guidance. So for any concrete information, I always recommend that you please go to the official EU resources. Okay. So the EU Commission, Council and Parliament agreed targeted simplifications and delays to the EUDR. So the regulation that amends the EUDR includes a delay for large and medium companies until the 30th of December 2026, a delay for micro and small companies until 30th of June 2027. The repeal of EUTR is carried forward with the delays. So while we're in this transition period, essentially EUTR still applies. Reductions in due diligence and reporting obligations for downstream businesses, one-time declarations for small and primary producers, the removal of printed products, which I'm not sure if that affects anyone here, but I think that was Chapter 47 is now been removed from the annex of the regulation. and a further simplification review was promised in April 2026, followed by, if necessary, a legislative proposal. Not quite sure if I need to go through this, but I will just for the sake of those who might not know. So this covers just the difference between the different reporting types, basically. So the annual report is a retrospective report required to publicly report as widely as possible, and that's only for large businesses. The due diligence statement, which is uploaded to traces, must include geolocation information on product, for example, weight, HS code, country of origin, and the proof of legality part. And then a simplified declaration form is only for micro or small primary operators, and they don't need to update it even if there's a change in the supply chain. And it's sort of estimated annual usage and can use a postcode instead of geolocation. So that's a big easement. So looking at the future, I delivered a similar presentation a few months ago on this, and we've since had some updates just because my colleague Nikki McGrath attended essentially a deforestation meeting with the EU where they provided some clarity on what the April simplification review might possibly include. So in April, the Commission will carry out a simplification review of the regulation and present an accompanied report. Where appropriate, there might be legislative changes. But from that meeting that I've just mentioned, they spoke about the country benchmarking system. It may be updated in future, but they're not talking about updating it as part of the April package. They're trying to prioritize stability and predictability. So they're prioritizing simplifications that don't require a legislative change. So they're going to try and run through all of the changes that they can make without changing the regulation again. I think just for stability for people and just without, there's lots of EU resources on EUDR, and it can become quite burdensome and confusing. They were looking at a lot of the issues that we were hearing from industry and that we were seeing in the regulation. So business to consumer parcel transactions where the seller is outside of the EU was a big issue because those don't normally come with customs declarations. So then how do you comply with the regulation? And one we spoke about in the last meeting was the re-importing of products already placed on the EU market. Those are both issues that this further simplification review is looking to fix. That in addition to the definition of SME, which I think they're trying to look at including treatment of mixed size businesses, which is good. Yeah, and they're also looking at specific articles. So articles 5.3, which is the clarification of first downstream operator, and 5.6, which is substantiated concerns and liability for non-SME downstream operators and traders. So just on the UK position, and this is all lines I'm sure you've heard before, but we recognise the urgency of taking action to ensure that the UK consumption of forestry commodities is not driving deforestation. We are aware that businesses require certainty on the approach to deforestation across the UK, and will provide more guidance to businesses as soon as possible. We recommend that traders continue to remove goods as planned until further notice. But we are keen to understand how businesses are affected by the simplifications and what changes and preparations you are making to prepare.